the thing that I found really interesting, I couldn't find the word, but as women, we are not allowed to be angry. It's very unsexy. And you know our only point is to be sexy. Most of us are raised with not having access to our anger. I jump to tears quickly. The sadness sort of and the emotional energy of anger is what people are more comfortable with from women. It's that I think it's just what's more acceptable. It's easier to sort of accept a woman crying than to accept a woman angry. I mean, that's a stereotype. Black women are angry, and that doesn't get them men. I mean, there's like this whole language around that there's a kind of woman that a black woman is that is the reason black men are not with black women. There's a lot of information about that out there. And I'm sure there's other stereotypical sort of constructs that are informing women that our anger is not appropriate. It's a way to keep women in their place, but I mean, in general, it's just not an attractive thing. Women are meant to be soft and men are meant to be hard and strong, according to those rigid ideas of definition. And so what I found, for example, there's a story, a friend of mine was in a grocery store, and I guess she didn't notice that her cart was sort of in the path or whatever, and a guy, I guess, was trying to get by her, but she didn't notice. And he put his hands on her and moved her, and it made her furious. And when she told me about it, she kept saying, I don't know why I'm so angry. And I was like, you don't? She was like, no, I don't. She was like, I was so angry. And I was like, yeah, we have decades as black women and as women of being moved to the place where it's more comfortable for other people, for someone physically moving our bodies and not physically moving our bodies into the position that works better for them, without you having a choice for how you and when you move or transform your own physical experience, your own body, your own beingness. Of course she was angry, and of course that was a historical anger, in my opinion, that surges up in those moments. And I feel like that's part of what happened in that pussy grab moment with Trump. There was a post-traumatic stress that sort of waved out into our world of so many women having that fury sort of rise up in them that we feel unjustified in having. And Michelle Obama, in that moment, in that speech she gave, it was so important because what she did in the position of being the First Lady of the United States, being the Black First Lady, the first Black lady, a Black woman with the title First and Lady in front of her, which never is associated with Black women sort of historically and culturally. She stood there and did what has never been done for so many, and I shouldn't say never, but never in that way, in that position, at that moment, which is she took the blame and put it right back on the person who needed to be accountable for it. Because we as women are trained so often to take the blame of, it's my fault, I did it, I should have, if I had just, I should have been, if I smiled more, if I said stop, that's the way it works. That's the way we're told that it works. Men don't have to take accountability for their actions. It must be our fault. It was the lipstick I wore, my skirt was too short, I made him think he could, I was an actress, so that's, it's never ending, the messages that go on in our minds that we have to wade through in order to get to the place where we understand what is our own and what is someone else's. We have to pretzel, and our bodies are moved in all these different ways, and our minds and our experiences, and we have to do all these things in order to get to a place where we're like, oh no, that was not me. That was not mine. So back to constructive fury. I think part of what I saw happen from that Trump moment and then to the Women's March, and you saw all these women gathered, I don't remember seeing, I don't know in my lifetime to actually feel energetically what it felt like to be in, and there was no violence anywhere. Such an example of matrilineal power. So we're in this experience, all of us, in this collective force. I've seen images from the suffrage movement. I've seen images like that. But so here we are, all these women feeling, physically feeling each other, feeling our power. Also seeing it. We get to see all the images. You see how many we are. You see what we are. And we get to, in turn, start to own that. And know that we are not alone. You are not alone in your anger. You are not alone in how objectified you feel, how overly sexualized you feel, how your sexuality and sensuality has been given over to other people and is not even of my own volition and my own choice anymore. That all the choicefulness and agency and all of that we start to experience in our own selves, and to me, the constructive fury that came up it wasn't just anger, it wasn't blind rage, there was nothing blind about it. It has become laser. It has become absolutely constructive. We've been able to take our anger and let it be information for us. Let it be an informative way that we get to navigate where we're going. Why are you so angry? I am angry because this, and this. Are any of these things that can be remedied? Are any of these things that we can support with each other? Yes, they are. Or this one isn't, but this one means you need this, or whatever that is, So we get to put all those things on the table and come together and start to walk somewhere. And I think that's also been my experience with Time's Up, is that we all were like, dude, we are powerful. And that's what was amazing to me. In the shortest amount of time, I was like, oh my God, women, we can do anything. It's amazing. We really can. We really, yeah.